Fans, Peter Bokowski here on the Cougars Sports Network, bringing you this edition of Coaches Weekly. And this time, I'm joined by assistant and pitching coach of the CUC baseball team, Coach Matt Smith. Welcome to the show, Coach. Excited to talk to you today.
I'm excited too. First time on here, long time listener. It's going to be a really good time.
It's going to be a good one, and I can't think of a better place to start than this past Sunday. It was you guys, the Cougars, taking on a top 25-ish team in Willamette. They're receiving votes nationally, and you guys decided to go with a bullpen day. You guys used 6 pitchers to great effect, only allowed 2 runs on the day to a very good Willamette offense. And as pitching coach, I'm sure that had to feel really good for you and the rest of your staff to see you guys use an assortment of arms, a variety of guys out there, and come away with a big win over a very talented Willamette team.
Yes, it was unbelievable what our boys did. The night shift really stepped up, especially for guys who kind of have been waiting their turn for it. After a hard-fought series with Edgewood the previous day, 2 games there, for these guys to really step up against a team that's getting national votes, very potent offensive team, and watching them do their thing was unbelievable. I think the biggest takeaway for myself was our guys didn't let the moment get too big for them and the team that they were facing. So it really gave us a lot of confidence. I hope it gave them a lot of confidence moving forward of where we need them for the rest of the season.
And one guy who really shone on Sunday was Brady McCleary. And he's had an interesting path this season. Started the year as a starter, kind of struggled in that role, but since he's been moved to the night shift, to that bullpen, he's been lights out. His last 4 starts, his last 4 appearances, I should say, has not allowed an earned run. He pitched 3 against Willamette, only gave up a hit. That was it. And I'm sure that must be exciting for you to see the development of a young player like him turn into a weapon for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Brady is a very unique player because his mental game is where we would want what we look for in our seniors. And so he already has that as such a young pitcher. So it's unbelievable there. And then the physical aspect of it is really starting to come with his development this year so far. And what he has done of embracing the night shift role, coming out of the bullpen for us has been great. Just because he can go multiple innings. And yesterday he came in through 5 innings against Rockford and had 0 walks. It was unbelievable the what he could do, especially yesterday. So Brady, is an unbelievable pitcher, great young man. Really just kind of took the bull by the horns and was like, hey, I'm going to embrace this role now. I'm going to take this role, and I'm going to still have the same mindset. So what he's been able to do is really going to help us, as I said, with the playoffs and the rest of the season so far.
Right. Well, let's talk about that. We're kind of hitting the home stretch of the season. Only a couple more weeks here till hopefully playoff action begins for your squad. You got a little bit of climbing to do in the rankings, and something Coach Connor's been talking about a lot is stitching the pitching and the hitting together. You have some games where you guys are pitching lights out and the offense unfortunately is able to keep up, and you have games vice versa. The offense is hitting the ball out of the park, and unfortunately the pitching struggles a little bit. And from your side, the pitching side, I've heard Coach Connor talk about the hitting side, but from the pitching side, what does it got to take to find that consistency? So game in and game out, you guys are pitching well. You're keeping the runs limited rather than kind of this roller coaster we see sometimes.
Yeah, I think the big thing that we've talked about is the roller coaster that happens is when we put guys on base. Not by the hits, but by the walks. That's really is kind of what shot us in the foot a little bit this year. And right now in our last couple games, we've limited the amount of guys that we've put on base by inflicting ourselves with the walks. So with that, I think our guys have done a really good job of embracing it and then pitching to contact. We've kind of taken this mindset of, hey, we're within the first 3 pitches, force the other team to put the ball in play. Statistically shown, that has played in our favor, and just in baseball in general, with being a numbers sport, the numbers show that is where the success rate is, and the walk rate becomes lower. So with that mindset our guys have had, we have been able to really help with when our offense, takes them an inning or 2 to get going. It's really helped minimize the amount of damage that could be done, and it's also kept our pitch count lower, which then lower pitch count means less guys that we have to go to the bullpen, which means then we can then save guys for other parts.
Pressure,
and we're not then starting to burn guys too soon and start to wear them out. Because as we know at this time of the year, fatigue sets in.
Yeah.
Guys are getting tired with the amount of games that we cram in such a short amount of time.
Definitely.
So with that, it's really helping, especially with this last push, with having to climb the rankings, as you were saying. We have a really good part of our schedule right now that we feel confident that we are going to be able to compete and kind of gain some ground. And with that is where the pitching mindset is and what we're doing. Definitely feel very confident with that. And it's, making it into the conference tournament, help keep our guys fresh to kind of, go through that gauntlet of the conference tournament of, 6 to 7 games possibly in 4 days.
Right. Well, the push continues this Saturday, and it's a big game. Other than the playoff implications, it's also senior day for you and your squad as you take on WLC. And just as a coach in general, not just even as a pitching coach, how do you keep guys kind of set straight in the locker room with a big game like this? It's a big senior class, an important senior class for you guys. So how do you keep your guys in it mindset of all these distractions, the playoff push, senior day, whatever it may be, just hey, we got to get out there, we got to take care of business. What are you and the coaching staff doing to make sure that happens on Saturday?
We're letting the boys know that it's going to be an emotional day for our guys. It's going to be a day to celebrate their accomplishment that they've done for 2 to 4 years here in our program. So to celebrate that, I think last week was a good one with being Alumni Day and playing a ranked opponent.
Right.
So our guys kind of understood hey, there's a little bit of somewhat of a distraction going on, but a good distraction. And for this, it's just telling our guys hey, we're just going to carry on with our business. We're doing the senior day. We're going to acknowledge them. We want to support them. We want to be there for them. But when that's all over and done with, now, hey, it's time to, turn that light switch on. Hey, it's game time now.
We got baseball to play. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, senior day for CUC baseball is this Saturday. They take on Wisconsin Lutheran College at 12 and 3 p.m. Coverage can be found for the games at our website, cucougars.com. And the live stream can be found on our YouTube page, CUC Sports. Coach Smith, thanks again for joining me today. Good luck this Saturday and the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. But until next time, this is Peter Borkowski sign off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go
Welcome back to the Thunderdome here on the campus of Concordia University Chicago as we get set for Game 2 between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars baseball team and the visiting Scarlet Hawks of the Illinois Institute of Technology. Peter Borkowski joining you on the Cougar Sports Network. And let's go over what happened in Game 1 before we get set for the back end of this double header. The Scarlet Hawks took Game 1 by a score of 6-3 in 7 innings, using a big top of the fifth where they put up a 4-spot to defeat the Cougars. The win of the day went to Ricardo of the Scarlet Hawks, while Anthony Polano picked up the loss for CUC. Meanwhile, coming in to save the game for the Scarlet Hawks was Bracewell. And that's how Game 1 turned out. Notable performers from the game. We had Scarlet Hawks multiple putting up 1 RBI, including Blake Sproley, Lyndon Muth, Juan, and Kim, while the Cougars were led by Tyler Dorsch and his 2 RBIs on the day. Michael Kasich also adding an RBI. But Game 1 is a thing of the past, and we get set for Game number 2 now. And starting us off here for the Scarlet Hawks is the number 5, Tyler Gutsfeld. The center fielder appeared in Game 1, went 1 for 3, scored a run, also drew a walk, and struck out once. And the first pitch of Game 2 is in there for strike number 1. Cougars throwing out one of the more talented young arms on this roster, a pitcher who's really come alive as of late in McCleary, as that pitch is high for ball number 1 so far in the year. Brady McCleary coming into today, 8 appearances, 1-2 record, a 5.85 ERA, as that ball is fouled off to make the count 1-2. But McCleary, again, has really come on as of late. Started the season in a starting position, was then moved to the bullpen where he's been lights out as that ball is fouled down the right field line. So the count will remain at 1-2. But ever since McCleary made that move to the bullpen, he's been nothing but spectacular for the Cougars. And now he gets the nod here in Game 2 to take on a Scarlet Hawks team who, after their Game 1 victory, as this ball is over the glove of Kasich, and it is going to be just foul. That ball looked like it was on the right field line. First base umpire says it was just foul, so Gutsfield will have to return to home and try and get on base once again. That looked like a guaranteed base hit, maybe 2 base hit, depending on how quick Cougars outfielder, right fielder Tyler Dorsch can get there. Either way, the count remains at 1-2 on Gutsfeld. The next offering, this ball is hit fair into right field. That one is a certified hit as Gutsfeld reaches first base, no problem. So after a very close foul ball, Gutsfield puts one very much into fair territory. And we have our lead-off runner of game number 2. So with Gutsfield on first, it'll bring up the first baseman for the Scarlet Hawks, Michael Paxson. Paxson in Game 1 batted second as well. 3 for 3 on the game with 2 runs scored. As now he has a chance to do something with a runner on, nobody out. Fouls off the first pitch for an 0-1 count. As McCleary, the freshman righty, delivers this ball, hit in the almost exact same spot. Trickles into right field, and that'll be another single for the Scarlet Hawks. Paxson reaching first, while Gutsfield will head his way to second base. So 2 runners on, still nobody out now for the designated hitter. And Connor Blake was the designated hitter last game as well for IIT. Went 1 for 3, scored a run, knocked in an RBI, and drew a walk as well. As he takes that first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Cleary on the mound, his battery mate for the game is the sophomore Dom Owens. So far on the year, Owens has appeared in just 6 games. As here's a pickoff throw to second. It gets away from the second baseman, Sean Boswell. So safe at second remains Gutsfeld. This is Owens behind the plate, just his 7th game of the year, his 3rd start. Underclassmen battery going game 2 for CUC. As McCleary set and deliver, that ball misses, just low and away, makes it 2-0. The outfield left to right for the Cougars is Cajigas, Hickman, and Dorsch, while the infield, Tyler Crater at 3rd, over at shortstop is Alejandro Munoz, Sean Boswell at 2nd, as I already mentioned, and Michael Kasich at 1st for the Cougars defense here in game 2. Meanwhile, the count now 3-0 on Connor Blake as McCleary delivers, and that ball is low. 4-pitch walk issued to Connor Blake. So 3 batters up, 3 bases full right now for the Scarlet Hawks, and with a chance to strike first here in game number 2, it is Samuel Sproul. Sproul batted cleanup in game 1 as well, where the left fielder went 1 for 3, scored a run, knocked in an RBI. That pitch is high and in for ball number 1. Sproul, a senior all the way from Seattle, Washington, takes ball 2. So McCleary struggling to find the strike zone ever since Michael Paxson hit a single in the 2nd at bat of the inning. Now the 2-0, that one high and in, way high, makes it 3-0. Now McCleary in danger, 1 pitch away from walking in the first run of game 2. Still nobody out. As Sproul gets set, the 3-0. That finds the strike zone for strike 1, 3-1 the count now. First strike thrown since the Michael Paxson at bat. As here's the 3-1, and that's in there. Hits the edge of the zone, makes it 3-2. So McCleary able to work from the 3-0 count, fills up the count. As the next offering, that ball is popped up just past the infield. Kasich trying to track it down in foul territory, and I don't believe he got a piece of it. Went behind the Cougars' dugout. He did catch it, excuse me. So, nice catch in foul territory by Kasich. And from our view, and that is a big out number 1 for CUC. Does not advance any base runners, and now just 1 good grounder away. And CUC could get out of this jam. They'll have to face off against Michael Lindenmuth, who takes a ball to start his at-bat. Lindenmuth, game 1, 1 for 3, an RBI and a walk drawn. As that ball, it's very softly hit. Crater scoops it up. He's just going to go to first with it for out number 2. But Lindenmuth with the fielder's choice, with the ground out, able to score. Tyler Gutsfeld, which means IIT strikes first here in game number 2. Take a 1-0 lead off the RBI ground out from Lindenmuth. Advancing to second is Paxson, and now advancing to third is Paxson, and at second is Connor Blake. Meanwhile, at the plate, it is the catcher for the Scarlet Hawks, number 18, Lucas Juan. Juan, 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in game number 1. Also drew a walk. As the count sits at 1-1 on number 18 in black. The pitch from McCleary. And nice block there by Owens. Had to slide over to get in front of it. Makes the count 2-1 now. Two 1-1. And that one is lifted into left center. Hickman giving chase. Makes the grab for out number 3. Nice track down by Eli Hickman. And the Cougars, despite loading the bases with no outs, only allow 1 run. And they'll have a chance to tie it up as we head to the bottom of the first. Cougars trailing the Scarlet Hawks 1-0 after the first half of the first inning. We'll be back here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Bottom of the first underway here at the Thunderdome on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago. Eli Hickman will lead things off for the Cougars. Meanwhile, on the mound, the Scarhawks throwing out junior righty Zach Dempsey out of Franklin Park, Illinois. And so far on the season, Dempsey, as Hickman makes contact with the first pitch, and it squeaks by the second baseman into right for a leadoff single. So before we even have a chance to talk about Dempsey, Hickman getting to work quickly here. Gets his first base hit of the day, went 0 for 4 in Game 1. Now gets a leadoff single here in Game 2. But back to Dempsey. This is appearance number 8 on the year, start number 3, 5.81 ERA, 2-0 record for the junior on the mound, as he now goes up against another junior right fielder for the Cougars, Tyler Dorsch. First pitch to Dorsch is outside for ball number 1. Dorsch 1 for 1 in game number 1. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 walks drawn. So a productive day, productive game at the plate for Tyler Dorsch, as the 1-0 from Dempsey is in there for strike number 1. Dempsey checks Hickman at first. Hickman, a very good base runner. Always have to be cautious of what he's doing on the base paths as Dorsch takes ball 2. Dempsey takes a breath, checks Hickman one more time, who receiving some signs from his first base coach, and now takes a lead off. Dempsey delivers a 2-1. Dorsch hits that one into center field. That's going to be a base knock. Hickman will stop at second. And just like the Scarlet Hawks in the top of the inning, the Cougars start their offensive with back-to-back singles. And with no one out, it'll bring up Tyler Crater, a third baseman for CUC. Really quick, the starting defense for the Scarlet Hawks, left to right in. The outfield is Sproul, Gutsfield, and Old. Meanwhile, third baseman is Lindenmuth, the shortstop Fryer, second baseman Bovey, and Paxson at first. Juan behind the plate for his pitcher Dempsey, as Crater is going to take a strike there for an 0-1 count. Tyler Crater batting third here in Game 2. Batted 6 in the first game. Well, 1 for 3. As the next offering is in the dirt. Losing it for a second was Juan, but able to jump back on top of it, so base runners have to hold. We'll make the count 1-1, though. As Dempsey gets set for the 1-1. The pitch, and Crater gets just a piece of it. It's going to go foul. They get caught Crater right above the hands on the bat and get a good piece of it. Luckily able to drift out of reach of Lindenmuth. So no out, but it will be a 1-2 count now on the Cougars' junior third baseman, Crater. Dempsey checks Hickman at second. Now delivers the 1-2, and that's going to hit Crater. Crater caught the ball, too. Caught the ball against his chest. Gets a couple laughs from the dugout. Flashing those third baseman hands at the plate. So the Cougars, again, like the Scarlet Hawks in the top of the inning, they load the bases with nobody out. Both teams with singles in their first 2 batters. Well, the Scarlet Hawks drew a walk in their third. Crater takes one off the chest. Not off the chest, able to keep it. Caught the ball against his chest. Either way, it still hit him, so he takes his place at first. And that'll bring Michael Kasich up to the plate. Kasich, game 1, also batted cleanup, 1 for 3 with an RBI as the next offering, and that one goes foul as the Cougars dugout. Next offering from Dempsey, and Kasich lines it into left field. That'll score one. Dorsch rounds third. The relay throw gets to the plate. The tag is in time. Great throw from Sproul right over the head of Dempsey. So Dorsch is out at the plate, and here comes Coach Connor now to make his case with the home plate umpire. The Cougars for sure score one, so we're knotted up at one. But Coach Connor trying to make an argument for that second run, which would give them a lead. So Coach Connor will head back to the Cougars dugout. Dorsch thrown out at the plate, but the Cougars able to get one run back thanks to an RBI single from Kasich. And we are all knotted up at one here. Scoring the run was Hickman. Julio Cajigas at the plate now for CUC. 1-0 count against Dempsey as the next offering. Cajigas hits that one, and it's under a hopping Kasich. Coming around third is Crater. The throw is cut off, and another RBI single for the Cougars. This one courtesy of Julio Cajigas, and CUC takes a 2-1 lead. Crater coming home to score the run. Kasich over at third now. And with 4 singles and a hit by pitch, CUC's already gotten 2 off of Zach Dempsey. And now it'll bring up the catcher for CUC, Dom Owens. Owens not appearing in game number 1 on the season. Across his 8 at-bats, he has 3 hits for a .375 batting average. Take a ball there. 5 batters up, still no outs for CUC as now Juan coming out have a chat with his junior hurler on the mound. Now Juan heads back to his spot behind home plate. One-0 count on the sophomore backstop for CUC. The next offering is well away, makes it 2-0 now. Owens will take strike one there. 2-1 the count. Now already some action down in the IIT bullpen. Of an arm throwing on the season. In his 7 appearances coming today, Dempsey has thrown 26 in a third innings. So he has some longevity to him as that ball misses for 3-1 count. But head coach of the Scarlet Hawks, Ed Zeifert, in his 7th season, not liking what he's seen out of his starter. Let's have someone ready to go just in case things get worse for Dempsey if he can't figure it out. Next offering, that pitch high and away, ball 4. Owens takes his place, and the Cougars once again load the bags. The walk pushes Cajigas to second. Kasich still standing on third. And here comes a Tech coach to have a chat with Dempsey, still trying to figure things out. 1 out up on the board. That out was because of a throw to home. So Dempsey himself has still yet to induce an out from the Cougars. That out coming courtesy of some good fielding work from Sproul and left. As it'll be Caleb Anderson, the designated hitter for CUC, up at the plate now.
Batting 7th, the designated hitter, number
Anderson pinch hit in game 1. Got nothing out of it for his only at-bat in the game. As the first offering is low and away. Ball 1 to Anderson. On the season, Anderson coming into today, .310 batting average. Took a slight dip after his 0-for-1 performance in game 1. As here's the 1-0. That ball low and away makes it 2-0. Dempsey struggling to find the strike zone. These last two batters. Munoz on deck for CUC. Yashawn Boswell in the hole. As the next offering, and Anderson lifts this one into right, and it is caught by Timmy Old. Coming home, the score is Kasich. The throw to third is not in time, so it's an out, but it's a productive out for Caleb Anderson. Drives in a run, and CUC now takes a 3-1 lead over the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks.
Betting 8, shortstop number 26, Alejandro Munoz.
Kasich adds a run to his total. Moving over third is Cougars, while Owen still stands at first, and there's a strike issue to Munoz. 1 for 2 in game 1. Was replaced defensively by Xavier Zagerman in the game. Munoz, the next offering, he's going to take another strike there towards the inside of the plate. 0-2 count now on CUC's shortstop. Freshman out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. The 0-2 high makes it 1-2. Dempsey gets the sign now, delivers that ball in the dirt. Good block there by Juan. Try to skip past him. Number 10, the backstop, able to hop in front of it. That likely would have scored Cougars from third. Instead, Cougar runners have to stay in the corners. And with a 2-2 count, Dempsey gets set. Delivers, and that ball barely fouled off. Munoz makes just a little contact with it. So the count remains 2-2. Another 2-2 from Dempsey. That ball lifted up into shallow right, coming in and making the grab is Old for out number 3. But the Cougars respond well after giving up a run in the top of the first. They score 3 of their own here in the bottom of the inning, and we head to the second inning now. CUC on top of the Scarlet Hawks 3-1. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Leading off the top of the second for the Scarlet Hawks is the right fielder, Timmy Old.
11, Timmy Old.
Old did not appear in game one as he grounds the first pitch. Crater gloves it, throws it over to first in time for a quick first out. We'll have to wait till his next at bat to talk about the junior right fielder from Columbus, Ohio. As for now, it'll be the 8-hole hitter, Jack Fryer. Played shortstop in game one as well as here in game two as he takes the first pitch for a strike. Jack Fryer 1 for 4 with an RBI in game number one. And he takes that in the strike zone for strike number 2. Clear able to just clip the edge of the zone. Makes it 0-2 the next offering. And he just gets a piece of it right back to McCleary. Underhands it to Kasich at first for out number 2. McCleary handles the comebacker with no issue. And with 2 quick outs, it'll now be Matthew Bovey, the second baseman for Tech. Went 0 for 3 in the first game.
Number 33, Matthew Bovey.
Bovey, a sophomore out of West Orange, New Jersey, takes a strike on the first pitch. So plenty of representation on this Tech squad from all over the U.S., not just Illinois. That pitch high and away makes it 1-1. California, Connecticut, Oregon, Texas, Colorado, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Washington, New Jersey, Nebraska, Michigan, Florida, and of course Illinois all represented on the roster. As the next offering hits the strike zone, so even it up at 2-2. As the next offering, this ball hit into left field, going back for it as Cougars has to curl in for the grab and out number 3. So after a somewhat shaky first inning, McCleary comes out here, sends the Scarlet Hawks down in order for a quick top of the second. We head to the bottom half of the inning now. Cougars still on top of Tech 3-1. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Bottom of the second, about to get underway here on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago. Cougars back up to bat after their 3-spot in the first, and it'll be the 9-hole hitter leading us off here with Yashawn Boswell, second baseman for CUC. Played their last game, went 1 for 3 as he immediately makes contact on the first pitch, a deep drive into center field, and going back and making the grab is Gutsfeld. Had to fight the sun a little bit, but able to reel it in for a quick first out. Not a cloud in the sky as of right now. Days seems to be becoming more and more sunny as it goes on. So these outfielders, well, any player fighting for a pop-up might have to battle the sun a little bit as Hickman takes a first pitch strike. First at bat, Hickman a one-pitch single last inning. Eventually came around to score the game-tying run. CC went on to pile on 2 more to take this 3-1 lead as Hickman pops this one up foul. Was behind the stands, so 0-2 count now on the senior center fielder for CUC. Taylor Dorsch on deck. The last Cougar guaranteed an at-bat this inning, depending on what else happens. See how far they get in the lineup as Hickman takes a ball there and makes it 1-2. Tyler Crater, the man in the hole right now. As Dempsey in set and now delivers, and Hickman lines that one into left center field. And Hickman, 2 at-bats, 2 singles already here in the second inning. And the Cougars have a base runner with 1 out. And Tyler Dorsch in the batter's box. Dorsch a single in his first at-bat last inning. As this Cougars at the top of their lineup, some magnificent work. Dorsch was thrown out at home, but the first batter to hit into an out came with Caleb Anderson hitting in the 7th spot, sacrifice fly, which drove in a run. So spots 1 through 6, all able to reach base safely. As it is an 0-1 count now on Dorsch. Hickman's going to take off for second. The throw is not in time. Stolen base for Eli Hickman. And the Cougars now with a runner in scoring position. Stolen base number 12 on the year for Hickman. 12 stolen bases on 16 attempts. As he now puts someone in scoring position for Dorsch. That ball dribbled away from Juan, able to get back in front of it, on top of it. Meanwhile, the count goes to 2-1. Dempsey. It's set now, delivers. Dorsch takes that inside the strike zone for a strike number 2. They clip the inside edge of it. So count evened up at 2-2. Dorsch trying to get his second hit in as many at bats here. The 2-2, and Dorsch, it's a grounder, and it's going to get into the glove of Fryer, and Fryer just pockets it. So an infield single for Tyler Dorsch. Fryer had to travel quite a ways to get to that ball. Was in no position to make a throw to first. So just to protect everything, pockets it, keeps the damage limited. And with 2 runners on and 1 out, it'll be Tyler Crater. Crater hit by a pitch in his first at-bat last inning. Eventually came around to score what is right now the difference in the game, the second run of the day for CUC. As this pitch inside makes it 1-0. Arm still working out there for IIT. A righty throwing in the bullpen. As Dempsey's really been struggling here through a 1 1/3 innings of work. As now they're going to try to pick off at second. Hickman able to get back on base. No dive necessary there. As Crater hits that one past the third baseman, Lyndon Muth. Coming around third to score is Hickman, and the Cougars add another one on. RBI single for Tyler Crater, and that makes it 4-1 here in Game 2. As now here comes the Tech coach. See if he makes the motion towards the bullpen. And I believe he did. So, pitching change coming up here for the Scarred Hawks. Dempsey only goes an inning and a third. Cougars get 4 runs off of him. They got 2 on with just 1 out. Michael Kasich at the plate. We'll have more play for you when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Phil Trojanowski on the mound now for the Scarred Hawks, a freshman utility player for Tech. Coming into today has made 9 appearances, all of which have been relief. 2.25 ERA, one of the best ERAs on this squad, as he issues a first pitch strike to Michael Kasich. Kasich an RBI single in his first plate appearance last inning. As the Cougars get a new pitcher to face on the mound, Trojanowski delivers that ball in there for strike number 2. Dempsey's day done after 1 1/3 inning. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned, but these 2 base runners still are under his watch. So now he leaves it to his freshman teammate to try and keep his ERA down. That pitch just high for ball 1. 1 walk issued by Dempsey, no strikeouts across 39 pitches, 22 of which were strikes. As the 1-2, Kasich lifts this one into deep right center. That ball is going back, and it's off the glove of Old. So everybody's safe. Coming home, the score is Dorsch. He'll do so. The Cougars add another run. RBI double by Michael Kasich. Probably could have turned into more runs, but the Cougars making sure that Old didn't reel that one in. It was a good pursuit by the Tech's right fielder just off the front of his glove. So the Cougars add yet another run. They now have base runners at second and third in the form of Kasich and Crater respectively, as the first pitch to Julio Cajigas is down and away in the dirt for ball 1. Cajigas a single in his first at-bat in the first inning. And it was the top 4 of the Cougars lineup yet to get out yet, as that pitch is high. Makes it 2-0. Cajigas seeing if he can continue that trend here. Dom Owens on deck. He also reached base safely in the first. As here's the 2-0. Cougars takes it low and away, ball 3. "3-0 count. Trojanowski, the righty, delivers. Cougars takes it for strike 1. The 3-1. That ball is also in there. Upper part of the strike zone makes it 3-2 now. Full count, 3-2 from Trojanowski, and Cougars gets just a piece of it. The throw across the diamond is in time, so Kasich and Crater have to stay where they are. And play there by Lindenmuth at third. Checks the runners before throwing it across in time for the out. So with 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position, it'll now be Dom Owens. First pitch taken for a strike. Owens a walk last inning. Caleb Anderson on deck if Owens can reach safely. The 0-1. Owens takes away for 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Owens, it's a grounder. Lindenmuth scoops it up, makes the throw to first, and it is caught for the final out. So Lindenmuth able to throw out the last 2 batters, but the Cougars, they add on a pair of runs, and it makes it 5-1 as we head to the top of the third. CUC on top of the Scarlet Hawks by 4. We'll have more action for you when we're back in just a second.
Hey there, Cougar fans. We appreciate you tuning in today's game. To stay up to date on all things CUC baseball,
follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUC Baseball.
We'll see you on campus soon.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Top of the order for the Scarlet Hawks as we get set for the third inning. Cougars able to tag on 2 more last half innings, so they take a 5-1 lead as the first pitch to Tyler Gutsfeld misses for ball number 1. Gutsfeld a leadoff single and came around the bases to score IIT's only run of the day so far. Ball. They appeal down the line for the check swing. No check swing. Next offering from Brady McCleary misses. So that'll be ball 4 issued to Gutsfeld. Gutsfeld reaches base for the second time in as many at-bats, and with 1 runner on, It'll now be Michael Paxton, the first baseman. He had a single in his first at-bat. See if he can do it again here in a second. As Paxton takes one up high for ball one. There's a much cleaner second inning for McCleary than a first. After facing 6 batters in the first inning, he only faced 3 last inning. Is now the pickoff throw is no good. But the top 3 hitters for Scarhawks all able to reach base safely as that pitch is swung through for a strike. One, blown away. Owens has to move to get in front of it. So 2-1 count now on Michael Paxton. Pickoff throw, no good. Safe is Gutsfeld. Cougars check in on the Texas center fielder a lot already on this trip to the bases. He's got 14 stolen bases as that ball is knocked foul. 14 stolen bases on the year on just 16 attempts, so very, very good runner in Gutsfeld. As the next offering, this one popped up. Tyler Dorsch coming in, crosses into foul territory, and makes the grab for out number 1. I believe he made the grab. It was a foul ball, excuse me. Again, hard to see past the Cougars dugout. So instead of an out, it'll now be a 2-2 count on Paxton. As the 2-2 from McCleary checks the runner. Second, the pitch is in there. Strike 3. Paxton goes down looking. And with 1 out, Gutsfeld, meanwhile, is advanced to second. So with the runner in scoring position, as they check Gutsfeld, he is safe. It'll be Connor Blake, the DH, walked in his first at-bat. Cleary, the offering in there for a strike. On 1 count on Blake. Going to try another pickoff attempt here. Boswell drops the ball. I believe Gutsfeld would have been in safely anyways. 1 count remains on Blake as McCleary gets set and now delivers. And there's going to be a throw to third. It is not in time. Stolen base for Gutsfeld. Running rampant on the base paths this trip. And that ball is lifted into deep center. Going back for it still as Hickman gets under it. And that throw is going to be pointless as Gutsfeld with his speed easily going to trot into home. So a sacrifice fly from Connor Blake gets the Scarhawks 1 run back. Makes it a 5-2 ball game. And now it'll bring up Samuel Sproul, who takes a ball on the first pitch. That pitch high for ball number 2. A 2-0. In there for a strike. And that ball just off the end of the bat for a foul. So we're evened up at 2-2 here. The offering for McCleary. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. McCleary gets his second strikeout of the inning, but the Scarhawks get one back thanks to some nifty base running from Gutsfeld and an RBI sac fly from Connor Blake. We are going to head to the bottom of the third. Cougars, they still are on top of the Scarhawks now, 5-2. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network.
Hitter number 25, Caleb Anderson.
Caleb Anderson at the plate for CUC as he hits that first pitch. It is gloved by Lindenmuth. The throw across the diamond is going to be not in time and way off first base. So, infield single for Caleb Anderson gets us started here in the third.
Well, if that's the case, I think we've got to give him the stolen base. In this case, he stole it.
Anderson's sacrifice fly RBI in his first at bat. Now an infield single. About the farthest throw across the infield you can make for Lindenmuth. Had way too much of an arch on it, and it took Paxson way off the first base. So Anderson sits safely at first, and at the bat now it is Munoz, a fly out to right field in his first at bat. That pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count.
Shortstop number 26, Alejandro Munoz.
Munoz. Takes the 1-1 low and away, so makes it 2-1. That pitch. Oops. Catches the outside edge of the strike zone for strike 2. Framing by Juan, maybe able to steal one there. Either way, count evened up at 2-2. The next offering, and that ball hit up the middle. Fryer able to glove it, throws the second for one. The throw to first is not in time. Scarhawks almost able to turn two, instead it'll turn into a fielder's choice. So one out, runner still at first for CUC. Instead of Anderson, it's Munoz, and now it'll be Yashawn Boswell at the plate.
Baseman number 18, Yashawn Boswell.
Boswell flew out to center to kick off the second inning. And now he gets set with the runner on. And that pitch called a strike. Like Boswell checked his swing, but is still in the zone for strike 1. On deck is Eli Hickman. As the next offering to Boswell is going to take that low, makes it 1-1. Trojanowski gets set. Now delivers, and Boswell takes another low pitch. 2-1 the count. No one going in the Scarlet Hawks pen, so this is Trojanowski's game for the foreseeable future. Even as we are ready to hit the top of the Cougars lineup, Boswell takes strike 2. The first 4 batters of the Cougars line out, yet to get out 2 times through the lineup. And we're about to hit them again with Hickman on deck. And here is the 2-2. Boswell swings through it for strike 3. First K of the day for the Scarlet Hawks belongs to Trojanowski. And with 2 outs, a runner still at first, it's Eli Hickman. Hickman 2 for 2 so far with a pair of singles, a stolen base, a run scored. Hickman doing some good work here in the early goings of game 2. And he's going to take a strike there for an 0-1 count. Two runs scored on the day for Hickman, in the game. 0-2 count now as he has to go into protection mode here. As that 0-2 away, try to get him to chase, no go. So 1-2 now on Hickman. The 1-2 also misses away. 2-2 the count. As here's the 2-2. Hickman fouls it off to stay alive. Two and 2 count. The pitch outside. 3-2 the back pick, and that's way over the head of Paxton into right. So heading into second safely is Munoz. That'll be a throwing error from the catcher. E2 called on Juan. Munoz on second. Hickman still at the plate. The 3-2. And Hickman drives this one, drifting into left field, and under it is Sproul for out number 3. So the Cougars strand a runner at second, and we're going to head now into the 4th. A third of the way through game 2. Cougars still on top of the Scarlet Hawks. 5-2. We'll have more for you when we're back in just a second. Michael Lindenmuth will lead us off here in the top of the fourth. Brady McCleary still on the mound for CUC as his first pitch is blown away in the dirt for ball one. Lindenmuth, a ground out RBI in his first at bat as he takes ball two high and in. As the next offering, the 2-0 from McCleary. That ball hit, and it's gloved by Munoz. The throw over to first is in time. What a play by the freshman. Munoz drifting away from first to grab the ball, turns around and gets it over just in the nick of time. And by the skin of their teeth, the Cougars able to throw Lindenmuth out at first.
Catcher number 18, Lucas Wan.
What a play there from the freshman. And that'll be the first out. And now it'll bring up Lucas Wan, who takes strike 1-1. Flew out to center to end the first inning. As that ball is hit back to Munoz. And this throw will also be in time. Much simpler grounder for Munoz to handle. So back-to-back 6-3 ground outs for the Scarred Hawks. And with 2 outs, it'll be Timmy Old. Old grounded out to third to kick off the second inning. See if he can keep this inning alive a little longer here for the Scarred Hawks. The first offering is high and in for ball one. Now the 1-0. That's inside, makes it 2-0. Also inside, 3-0 count now. Well, in terms of McCleary's longevity as 3-0 is in there for strike one. The longest distance he's gone in a game as the 3-1 in there for strike two. As he pitched 5 innings against Rockford 1 week ago on the 17th of April. Other than that, you usually see him as that ball knocked foul. Usually see him in the 2 to 3 innings pitched range. A couple outings with 1 or just over 1. 1 outing with 4 1/3. As that's a swinging strike. Strike number 3. So McCleary, he's got 4 innings in the book this game. A 1-2-3 top of the fourth helps with that. And we're going to head to the bottom half of the inning. Cougars still up by a trio of runs, 5-2 over the Scarred Hawks. We'll have more for you when we're back in just a second.
Number 2 batter leads off.
Tyler Dorsch, the number 2 batter for CUC, will lead us off here in the bottom of the fourth. Dorsch, so far 2 for 2 with the run scored through his first 2 at-bats, as now he gets set to face Trojanowski. The first offering is, call it strike 1. Next offering from Trojanowski. Almost the same spot. Strike 2 called. Across his 9 appearances coming today, Phil Trojanowski, 16 innings pitched. So averaging just under 2 an outing. As this offering is in there. Strike 3. Dorsch doesn't lift the bat from his shoulders, goes down looking. And with a leadoff out, it'll now be Tyler Crater at the plate. 1 for 1 so far in this game with a single, an RBI single in the second. And then he was hit by a pitch, eventually scored a run in the first. Trojanowski now just hitting 2 complete innings pitched. As Crater rockets that one over the leaping glove of Bovee. That'll be a base knock, his second of the day, of the game for Crater. Line drive into right. And with 1 out, 1 runner on first, it'll now be Kasich. Kasich 2 for 2 so far this game. An RBI single and a run scored, and an RBI double in the first and second innings, respectively, as he takes that one way outside for ball 1. So the cycle halfway completed for Kasich here in the 4th inning. Still looking for the home run and the elusive triple. So plenty of time to do it as this pitch away for ball 2, 2-1 the count. Trojanowski gets set and delivers. Kasich lifts this one, going back into center. Gutsfeld tracking it down, reels it in for the out. So out number 2 of the inning. And now it'll be Cajigas at the plate for CUC. A single and a ground out in his 2 at-bats. If he can keep this inning alive, has to reach safely to do so, as he immediately makes contact with this first pitch. This is a deep drive into center, but nothing Gutsfeld can't track down. Gets there in a hurry. It's a well-hit ball, but hung up there a little too long. Gutsfeld makes the grab for out number 3, and that is a quick bottom of the 4th. We're going to head to the top of the 5th now. CUC still on top of the Scarlet Hawks, 5-2. Well, more action for you when we return to the Cougar Sports Network in just a minute.
I'm Connor.
No, I'm Connor.
Wait, I'm Connor.
Do you know where I can find more about Concordia Chicago?
Yeah, head to cuchicago.edu to find out more.
We appreciate you guys tuning in to our game today. Hope to see you soon. Go Cougs. Hi, Mom.
Jack Fryer at the plate now for the Scarlet Hawks. A ground out to McCleary back in the second is all he's got to show for today. As the first offering from McCleary is in there for a strike. It's been the odd innings giving McCleary trouble. Today's that ball is bobbled by Crater. Still gets there to throw to first as it hops and will die in the dirt. The hard hit ball to Crater. We'll see what they officially score it. Bobbled it and threw it, and it just kind of died down on Michael Kasich.
33, Matthew Bovey.
So it's going to go down as a E5 on Crater. Fryer reaches first safely with Matthew Bovey at the plate now. Bovey flew out to left his first at bat. Check the runner at first. He's in safely. Another pickoff attempt. He's safe. As the 1-0 misses, makes it 2-0. The 2-0 in there for a strike. But as I was saying earlier, it's been the odd innings that have given McCleary trouble. In the second and fourth, McCleary sent down the Scarlet Hawks in order as this ball is lifted into left center field. Eli Hickman getting a glove on it. So that'll be a base knock for Matthew Bovey. And it'll push Fryer to second. Meanwhile, in the first and third innings for McCleary, he's faced 6 and 4 batters. Those are the 2 innings where the Scarlet Hawks have scored their runs. Is there a chance they can do it again here? Here comes Coach Connor coming out to have a chat with his freshman pitcher on the mound. Runners on first and second, nobody out. So the mound visit breaks up. McCleary has a jam to work himself out of. There is an arm thrown in the Cougars' pen. Again, we've seen McCleary. He's thrown over 4 innings just twice in his appearances so far this year. As this pitch spiked in the dirt, Owens has to track it down, finds it. Ball 1, issue 2, Gutsfeld, who has singled and walked in his 2 at-bats, has scored both of the IIT runs so far. There's a stolen base to his name. This pitch popped up, and that'll go back towards the football field. It's a 1-1 count now. Cleary checks the runner at second before delivering the 1-1. Fouled off again. This one straight back, so it'll be a 1-2 count. And that pitch swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3. A huge strikeout for Brady McCleary, able to get 1 out on the board with 2 runners still on. And now it'll be Michael Paxton. Paxton a single and a strikeout looking in his 2 at-bats. First pitch to Paxton in the dirt. Owens able to stay in front of it and gets on top of it. No count on Paxton. Cleary set and delivers. That ball away makes it 2-0 now on the Scarlet Hawks first baseman. Next pitch popped up. That's going to drift foul. So 2-1 the count on Paxton now. Cleary cautious of the runner at second. Here is the 2-1. Low for ball 3. 3-1 count now on Paxton. Fryer at second. Bovee over at first. As here's the 3-1, and it gets past Owens. It'll be ball 4. So the runners would have advanced anyways. Walk issued to Michael Paxton, and the bag's now loaded for the Scarlet Hawks with the DH at the plate, Connor Blake. The Cougars for now will leave McCleary in, see if he can work out of this jam. The bases loaded in the first and only came out of it with 1 run given up, as now the umpire coming over to have a chat with Coach Zeifer of the Scarlet Hawks. Not sure what the argument is about. Now the meeting between the two finally breaks up. Still unsure of what Zeifer was arguing for. Either way, we resume play here. Bags loaded for Connor Blake with 1 out on the board. Ball issued to Blake, who has walked in and then sacrificed, flown out. Now that ball popped way up foul. Goes out of play, so it will be a 1-1 count now on the DH. Next offering is in the dirt. Ball 2. So 2-1 count now on Blake as McCleary gets set and delivers. Blake lifts that one into left center field. It'll score 1 run. It'll score 2 runs. And coming around third and coming home to score is Paxton. A 3 RBI bases clearing double for Connor Blake. And we have ourselves a brand new ball game here at the Thunderdome, and it looks like it'll do it for Brady McCleary's day. He'll leave after 4 1/3, and we'll have more about our new CUC pitcher when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. David Gutierrez takes over on the mound for CUC. As his first pitch is a bunt laid down. Gutierrez, and he falls as he scoops it up, and he still gets the throw in time. David Gutierrez, nice play after he loses his balance, scooping the ball up. They get Samuel Sproul, who, if you want a reference for how quick he is, 30 stolen bases on the year on 32 attempts. Sproul, a very, very, very speedy player, and Gutierrez, despite falling to the ground, still able to throw him out for out number 2. It does advance Connor Blake over to third, as Michael Lindenmuth now occupies the batter's box. 1-0 count on him as he lifts that one back foul.
Okay, so right now the first run of the inning is unearned. Yep. The last couple are earned, but any more that's scored now will be unearned. Yep.
Next offering to Lindenmuth, flown away. Owen slides over to get in front of it. 2-1 the count. Here is the 2-1. That's away as well. 3-1. Well, the quick ground out didn't give us time to talk about Gutierrez. This is his 12th appearance on the year. 3.55 ERA coming into today, and just under 13 innings pitched, as that offering is outside. So a 4-1 walk to Michael Lindenmuth. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs, and Lucas Wan at the plate. Fly out and a ground out so far today for Lucas Wan.
Catcher number 18, Lucas Wan.
And he puts in fair territory, will likely score another IIT run and give them the lead here. As that ball in there for a strike. The 0-1 inside, and it's going to graze him. Let's say Lucas Wan looked like it might have clipped his jersey. So the ball just catches a piece of Wan, and that'll load the bags. Once again for the Scarlet Hawks, and with 2 outs this time, it is Timmy Old. Ground out and a strikeout so far today for the Scarlet Hawks right fielder. He takes ball 1. Jack Fryer on deck. He got this inning started. As the next offering to Old is a grounder just on the wrong side of the third baseline. Could have been bad for CUC. Instead, we'll get set for a 1-1. One from Gutierrez. In there for a strike. Good movement on that pitch to bring it to 1-2. So 1-2 count on Old. The offering swung on and missed. Strike 3. A big strikeout there for David Gutierrez, and he keeps the score where it is. But the Scarlet Hawks, a bases clearing double, courtesy of Connor Blake, ties up the game 5-all. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 5th. CUC has some work to do in a brand new ball game. See what happens when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. brand new ball game here at the Thunderdome on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago. Peter Borkowski joining you on the Cougars Sports Network. Bottom of the fifth, 5-5. Cougars and Scarhawks all tied up after IAT put a 3-spot up in the top of the inning, as this is a high pop fly going foul. So Dom Owens, leadoff hitter for CUC, will trot back to home plate. Owens 0 for 1 in this game, a walk and a ground out for CUC's sophomore catcher. And it's the 0-1. Owens fouls off again, makes it 0-2. Two count on Owens. The pitch from Trojanowski. And he went on that, strike 3. So Owens starts off the inning with a swinging strikeout. And now it'll bring up Caleb Anderson.
Designated hitter number 25, Caleb Anderson.
Sac fly for an RBI in the first, and then a base knock to lead off the third. Next pitch outside. Makes it 2-0 on Anderson. That ball lifted into shallow left, coming in and making the grab is Sproul for out number 2.
Shortstop number 26, Alejandro Munoz.
Trojanowski on the mound has now officially set a new season and career high for innings pitched with 3 1/3. It was previously 3, as Munoz goes swinging and fouls off the first pitch. Makes it 0-1. So Trojanowski coming in to relieve the struggling starting pitcher Dempsey, and he's looked excellent while he's doing it. That ball in there for a strike, 0-2. Munoz a fly out and a fielder's choice, hit into a fielder's choice today in this second game of action. Now this one popped up and drifting too far foul, out of play. So 1-2 count. The next offering, Munoz puts us on the ground. Bovee scoops it up. The throw to first is in time for the final out of the inning. So, Trojanowski makes quick work of the Cougars in the fifth. They go 1-2-3, and we head to the top of the sixth now. Cougars and Scarhawks still all tied up here at the Thunderdome, 5-5. We'll be back in just a second with more action for you. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Leading off the Scarlet Hawks here in the top of the 6th is Jack Fryer. Led off last inning, 2, reached on an error from Tyler Crater. And that kicked off a 3-run inning for the Scarlet Hawks, which is how we were tied up at 5-all. And he's going to take the first pitch from Gutierrez for a strike. Next offering from Gutierrez misses high and away. So it evens us up at 1-1. One low and away. So 2-1 now in favor of Fryer at the plate. Before reaching on an error last inning, Fryer grounded out to the pitcher in the second as he's now worked himself a 3-1 count. One is low for a ball 4. So for the second straight inning, Fryer gets on base to lead off for the Scarlet Hawks. And with him on first, it'll be Matthew Bovey, who singled and scored a run last inning. He's also flown out in the second game. As the first pitch to the IIT second baseman is swung through for a strike. The ball bounces away from Owens, though. So taking his place at second will be Fryer. It'll be a passed ball on Owens. And a strike for Bovey. Now the lead, the go-ahead run for the Scarlet Hawks is in scoring position. The next offer to Bovey is away for ball 1. That ball bounces away from Owens as well, but he's able to get there in time. Two one from Gutierrez. Low. 3-1 count now. Three one. The offering is high. Ball 4. So Bovey reaches base. And with no outs, 2 on. Looks like the Cougs are going to make another call to the pen. So we have a new CUC pitcher coming in. We'll have more info on him when we come back in just a second. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Tyler Gutsfeld will be the first IIT batter to face the new CUC pitcher Elliot Higgins. David Gutierrez's day is done after 2/3. As here's a bunt laid down by Gutsfeld. Higgins scoops it up to throw to first. Is in time, but the bunt successfully moves both base runners into scoring position, with Fryer over at third and Bovey at second now.
First baseman number 99, Michael Paxton.
Sacrifice bunt for Gutsfeld. And now it'll be Michael Paxton, who drew a walk last inning. First pitch is outside for ball one. Also has a single and a strikeout in the game. As for the Cougars, sophomore pitcher Higgins, making his 9th appearance on the year. And then you get a strike there. So we're even up at 1-1. So 8 appearances coming in today, 10.29 ERA for Higgins. As that ball is hit through the hole, that'll drift into left field. That'll score 1, and the Scarhawks back in control of this game for the first time since the first inning. RBI single, Michael Paxton. And they take a 6-5 lead over CUC here at the Thunderdome. Fryer coming home to score the run. Bovey over at third and Paxton at first. So runner still 90 feet from the plate with just one out. It'll be Connor Blake. He had the big 3 RBI double in the 5th inning. That's what tied us up at 5 runs apiece. See if he can give his team a lead now. A bigger lead now, I should say, as the first pitch to Blake is in there for a strike. And then the 0-1 in there for strike 2. 0-2 now on Connor Blake. That ball gets away from Owens. Staying at third is Bovey, but Paxton will head to second. Be a passed ball on Owens, his second of the inning. So 2 runners in scoring position, and takes the simple double play out of the question now. Cougars can't just go second to first. They want to get 2 out, and that ball down low. Owens gets a glove on it. So we're sitting at 2-2 now. Higgins delivers. That ball low and away. 3-2. Here is the 3-2. That ball low and away as well. Ball 4, and that'll load the bags up with just 1 out. Samuel Sproul at the plate. Sproul
Left fielder number 24.
flown out, struck out, and grounded out. Now I'd like to do some damage with the bags loaded. The first pitch to Sproul, he's going to take for a strike. Next offering to Sproul is covered up by Owens. One and one count. The next offering is low and in the dirt. 2-0. Pitch just misses for ball 3, 3-1. So Cougars 1 pitch away from walking in another run. The 3-1, and here's a hopper. Glove by Crater. They go to second for 1. The first is not in time. So Cougars can't turn 2. Sproul able to leg it out. And the Scarhawks, because of it, get 1 run across home plate. And they now take a 7-5 lead over CUC. Fielder's choice and RBI for Samuel Sproul. Coming home to score was Bovee. Picks in over at third, and then thrown out at second was Blake. So with runners in the corners, the Cougars check Sproul, who again has 30 stolen bases on 32 attempts, so a big base running threat for the Scarlet Hawks as that pitch is gloved by Crater. The throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. But the Scarlet Hawks, they add on 2 more runs. They take a 7-5 lead over CUC. As we head into the bottom of the 6th, we'll have that for you in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Yashawn Boswell will get us going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Cougars now really have some work to do. No longer is a tied ball game. IIT with a 2-run lead over CUC as Boswell takes strike 1. Trojanowski still on the mound for his Scarlet Hawks. He's done some good work so far. Let's see what he can do this time against the Cougars lineup. Boswell hits that over a leaping Bovee. That'll hop into right field for a base knock. So that's a good start. Boswell, the leadoff hitter, able to get on. And we're back to the top of the lineup for CUC. Eli Hickman at the plate. Hickman 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, a pair of runs scored, a stolen bag, as well as a fly. As he shows bunt, pulls back in time for a ball. Here is the 1-0. Hickman shows bunt again, lays this one down successfully. The throw to first, it takes him off the bag, and he's going to be safe. So good bump by Hickman. The throw from Lindenmuth took Paxson away from first. So Cougars, everybody's safe at first and second. And with those two on, it'll be Tyler Dorsch. Also 2 for 3, a pair of singles, a run scored, and a strikeout looking on his resume for the second game. Dorsch can take a pitch there for a strike. One from Trojanowski is lifted into deep right field. Going back is Old. He can't track it down. It's going to one-hop against the fence. Boswell, he's going to come home to try and score. The throw to the plate is not in time. Boswell and Hickman had to hold up to see what happened with Old. He's not able to track the ball down. RBI double for Tyler Dorsch. The Cougars, they get 1 run back, make it a 7-6 ball game. So with 2 runners in scoring position in Dorsch and Hickman, it'll be Tyler Crater, 2 for 2 today. The pair of singles, one of which was an RBI knock in the second, has also been hit by a pitch, eventually came around home to score. As he takes the ball from Trojanowski, as now there's some movement in the Scarlet Hawks bullpen. Trojanowski for the first time today running into some trouble as that ball is sent foul. So 1-1 on Crater. Pitch high for ball 2. That pitch knocked up, and Old getting under it. Old makes the grab. Coming home to try and tie us up is Hickman, and he will do so. No throw to the plate. CUC ties it up 7-7. RBI sac fly from Tyler Crater. And we got another brand new ball game on our hands here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dorsch having to stay put at second with Michael Kasich now at the plate. Kasich single and a double. RBI on both those hits as this one's up the middle. Trickles into center field. Dorsch, he got the sign to go home. The play at the plate, not in time. Now the play at second is also not in time. So an RBI for Michael Kasich, and the Cougars will take an 8-7 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Left fielder number 21, Julio Cajigas.
So Kasich given the single, advance to second on the throw, as well as an RBI. Well, Dorsch coming home to score his 2nd run of the game. And now it'll be Julio Cajigas at the plate. Cajigas 1 for 3 with a single in the 2nd game. That came way back in the 1st. Don't have much to show since. That ball knocked back foul. Evens us up at 1-1. That ball, it gets away from Juan, so trotting over to third is Kasich. We passed the ball just out to the catcher Juan. So another run. It's 90 feet from the plate for CUC. 2-1 count on Cajigas. As Cajigas that takes a bounce off the mound, it throws off Bovey. The throw to first is still in time, but the Cougars get another run out of it. RBI for Julio Cajigas, and that'll make it a 9-7 ball game.
Catcher number 14, Dom Owens.
As Dom Owens swings on the first pitch, going back for and making the grab was Fryer. That was a tough grab as he was stumbling backwards, but he's able to complete it. So Owens flies out to the shortstop to end the inning, but the Cougars, thanks to RBIs from Tyler Dorsch, Tyler Crater, Michael Kasich, and Julio Cajigas, they put up a 4-spot. They take a 9-7 lead as we head to the 7th inning. See if the Cougars can hold on to it. And we're back here in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network.
Our name's Richard. Hey, Cougar fans. Thank you for tuning in to today's game. For more information on the baseball program, head to cucougars.com.
We hope to see you at our next game. Roll, Cougs!
Juan will lead us off here in the top of the seventh. His Scarlet Hawks, who were up by 2 last time they were at the plate, are now down by 2, 9-7 to CUC, as Juan will take a looking strike from Elliott Higgins, still on the mound for the Cougars. Higgins throws a pitch fouled off by Juan, so 1-2 now on the Tech catcher. And there's a bouncer. Kasich loves it, flips it to Higgins for the first out. Good glove by Kasich, good cover by Higgins. And we have 1 out here in the top of the seventh. And it'll now be Timmy Old. Old, one of the few Scarlet Hawks that have nothing to show for this game. 0 for 3 with a grounder and a pair of strikeouts, both swinging. See if he can change his fortunes around here at this at-bat. Takes a strike from Higgins. The next offering is in there for another strike. Higgins going up 0-2 on these first 2 batters. See what he can do here with Old now. 0-2. That's a bouncer. Past a spinning Higgins. Gloved. Munoz. The throw is not in time. Old able to leg out the infield single for his first hit of the game. And with a runner on, it'll be Jack Fryer, who finding ways to get on base. Grounded out in the second, but did reach on an error in the fifth. Eventually scored a run. Was also walked in the sixth. Came around to score a run. Takes the first pitch from Higgins for a strike. Second pitch of the at-bat. Coming up here. That one misses, so 1-1 now. Now balk called. So Higgins allows Old to advance to second. Fryer with a base knock here can cut this lead in half. The 1-1 from Higgins. High and in, 2-1 now. Higgins gets set for a 2-1-2. Jack Fryer, the pitch in there for a strike. So we're evened up at 2-2 now. Fryer followed up by Matthew Bovey. On deck. These bottom two, Fryer and Bovee, have done a good job these last couple of innings just getting on base, causing some havoc for their squad. As that pitch is lined, Yashian Boswell catches it on the hop, throws over to Kasich for an out. It does advance Old to third, however. So now it'll be up to Matthew Bovee to reach safely and hopefully score. Timmy Old.
Second baseman number 33, Matthew Bovee.
Bovee. Fly out, base knock, and walk so far in this game as he takes a strike there. That fly out was back in the second inning. Since then, he's reached safely in his last two at-bats. What he can do here with a runner 90 feet from the plate. Takes one high and in for ball one. Did he go? They appeal. No go, says the infield ump. So the count goes to 2-1. And offering in there for a strike, so evened up again, 2-2. Higgins getting the sign he likes from his catcher, and now delivers a pitch way outside. Looked like Higgins lost it a little bit. So 3-2 count. Full count with 2 outs on the board. Runner 90 feet from the plate. The next offering to Bovee is called ball 4. Looks like a good pitch. Higgins already taken some steps off the mound. Instead, the ump puts him back.
Center fielder number 5, Tyler Gutfeld.
So runners in the corners now. With 2 outs up on the scoreboard. Try and run on first base in Bovee. Tyler Gutsfeld in the batter's box. He's going to take a strike. Gutsfeld, single, walk, strikeout, and a sacrifice bunt through his first 4 at-bats. As the 0-1 from Higgins is delivered, just misses high. Ball 1. Goodsfield pops that one up. Major League pop fly getting under his crater, and he makes the grab for out number 3. So the Cougars able to strand a Scarlet Hawk runner at third. So we are going to head now to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch, and when we come back, Cougars will look to add to their 9-7 lead. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. New man on the mound for the Scarlet Hawks is number 17, Brendan Dwyer, a sophomore out of Downers Grove, Illinois. As his first pitch of the game is taken for a strike by Caleb Anderson. On the year, Dwyer has made 8 appearances, a 4.35 ERA across 10 1/3 of work. As his next offering to Anderson in there for strike 2. The 0-2. And there's a hopper gloved by Bovey. Throws over to first in time for out number 1. So Munoz will step into the batter's box. Munoz so far today 0 for 3 in the second game. Fly out, fielder's choice, and a ground out. And is the first pitch. He's going to take low and away for ball number 1. Next offering to Munoz. And here's a grounder. It's gloved by Fryer to throw to first is well in time for out number 2. 2 batters up, 2 batters down for Brendan Dwyer. And Cougars down to their last out in the inning. Yashawn Boswell step into the box. Boswell 1 for 3. Flying out a strikeout and a single as he lines this one down into center, but grabbing it for the out is Gutsfeld. Looked good off the bat, but Gutsfeld able to track it down. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 7th. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Brendan Dwyer. And we head now to the top of the 8th. Cougars still on top of the Scarlet Hawks 9-7. So more for you. And we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Bryce Jones steps onto the mound for the Cougars. He relieves Elliott Higgins, whose day is done after 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts across 36 total pitches for Higgins. Turns the ball over to Bryce Jones, who's been one of the better relievers on the CUC roster, as his first pitch is fouled off by Michael Paxson. Jones so far this year making appearance number 20 that ties Dylan Ferraro. And coming into today, tied Dylan Ferraro for the most, but Ferraro appeared in game 1, so he still maintains the lead over Jones. Jones, however, appearance number 20, 4.37 ERA, 3-2 record across 22 2/3 of work. As 1-1 misses, makes it 2-1 on Paxson. Paxson, a pair of singles, a walk, and a strikeout so far in this second game. As the 2-1 is going to be drilled into deep left center. That ball is caught by Julio Cajigas. It looked great coming off the bat, but between the breeze we have going on and just hitting it to one of the deepest parts on the field, that ball able to come back in for Julio Cajigas to make the grab. And now it'll be Connor Blake, who has been walked twice, had a 3 RBI double, and has also flown out for a sacrifice RBI. We take the first pitch strike from Bryce Jones. And that ball bounced right past Jones, past a diving Boswell. So it'll be a base knock for Connor Blake. Continues to have a really good game at the plate. And puts a man on for Samuel Sproul, representing the tie-in run at home. Sproul has flown out, struck out, grounded out, and hit into a fielder's choice. But that fielder's choice did drive in a run. Got something out of it as he swings on the first pitch. Munoz grabs it, throws the second for one. The throw to first is not in time. Sproul, again, a very quick player, able to leg it out, but hits into a second straight fielder's choice. Lead runner is out at second. And with 2 outs now, it'll be up to Michael Lindenmuth to try and keep the inning alive. Lindenmuth, 3 ground outs, one of which brought an RBI and has also been walked in this second game. As that first pitch is low for ball 1. Lindenmuth waits for his next offering from Bryce Jones. That pitch is in there for a strike. It'll be 1-1 now on the Tech third baseman. As the next offering, Sproul took off for second. Doesn't look like it'll matter. Dorsch plants under this one and reels it in for out number 3. So the Scarlet Hawks strand a runner on the base paths, and the Cougars have one more chance to add some runs on before they look to shut the game down in the top of the ninth. See if the CUC offense can add some insurance when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Cougar fans, a reminder to check out our website, cucougars.com. You can find all updates on CUC athletics, all teams on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago, including stats, schedules, rosters, and more. That is cucougars.com. Meanwhile, back here at the Thunderdome, Eli Hickman will lead off the Cougars for the bottom of the 8th. Takes the ball one from Dwyer, still in the mound for IIT. The next offering is hammered into center, going back to give chase as Gutsfeld, and makes a nice grab. Took a second for Gutsfeld to pick a direction, but he's able to track it down.
Right fielder number 23.
And with one out, it'll be Tyler Dorsch now. Dorsch, 3 hits in this game, 2 singles and an RBI double. Also, 2 runs scored and a strikeout so far in this second game. So nice game at the plate for Dorsch so far. See if he can add on to it here in the bottom of the 8th as the first pitch from Dwyer is high for ball 1. Next offering to Dorsch. Low and away, makes it 2-0 now. Cougars, they'll be back in action as soon as tomorrow, a 3 p.m. non-con game against North Central College, right here at the Thunderdome. And then they'll resume conference play this Saturday with a doubleheader up in Plymouth, Wisconsin to take on the Lakeland Muskies at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. before having nearly a week off. They'll finish up their season Friday, May 3rd with a doubleheader at Concordia University, Wisconsin. The next offering, Dorsch swings through. It's a drop third strike. Can Dorsch beat out the throw? The throw to first is not in time, off the base as well. So Dorsch benefits from the drop third strike. And the Cougars look out there, get a base runner on.
Third baseman number 52, Tyler Prater.
As Crater, that ball takes a bounce off the mound, and it's dropped by Fryer. Fryer can't scoop it up. I think the slide from Dorsch threw him off a little bit, too. So Dorsch safe at second. They're going to call that an error on Fryer. Now we have a little mound visit here to talk things over. So with runners at first and second, one out on the board, it will now be Michael Kasich, who's done some heavy damage this game. 3 hits, all of which have been RBIs. RBI single, RBI double, and another RBI single, as well as a flyout thrown in there. As the first pitch to Kasich is taken for a strike. Next offering in there for a strike as well, so 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Both runners take off, and Juan, confused by the double steal, just pockets the ball. So stolen bag for Tyler Dorsch and a stolen base for Tyler Crater. Exactly what you want to see with the double steal. Juan not sure where to go. So now the Cougars have 2 runners in scoring position. 1-2 count on Kasich. He takes a ball there, so we're evened up at 2-2. Kasich with 3 RBIs on the day already, on the game already. See if he can add 1 or 2 more here. As the next offering hammers that one foul out of play. Now the 2-2 fouled off again. Even count, 2 strikes, 2 balls. And here's the pitch. In the dirt, good stop by Juan, but that makes it 3-2, so full count now on Michael Kasich. Full count, and the pitch is absolutely lined foul over the IIT dugout. Get some juice on it. Not in fair play, however, so we'll get set for another 3-2 pitch. Dwyer taking his time for delivering the 3-2. That's a high bouncer, and it's going to bounce over Paxson. Kasich will stop at first. Coming home to try and score is Crater. Crater does! 2 RBI single. Thanks to a very high bounce from Michael Kasich. And the Cougars add on here, make it 11-7 in the bottom of the 8th. Really unfortunate bounce there from Michael Paxson. He was in line, but the ball, just such a high bounce, went over his head. Instead of turning into an out and maybe 1 run scored, it's a single for Kasich and 2 runs scoring. And now Cahiga's at the plate, runner on first. And he's going to look at that first pitch for a ball. Pitch in there. Nice frame job by Juan. Have stolen a strike there. Makes it 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. Good block there by the Tech backstop. So 2-1 count. And the pitch outside. So we're at 3-1. We're going to run into some issues here this inning. He looked sharp when he checked into the game. There was an arm thrown in the IIT pen. Let's go righty as Cahigas gets just a piece of it. So we're at a full count now, 3-2. Three-two from Dwyer. In there, strike 3. So Cougars, after a good fight, goes down looking. And with 2 outs, runner at first, it'll now be Dom Owens, who reached safely in the first inning with a walk. Since then, a ground out, strikeout, and a fly out. Trying to reach base once again for the second time this game. And as the first pitch to Owens, he's going to rocket that one into left center. That's going to touch down for a base knock. Tom Owens goes fishing on the first pitch, gets a single out of it. And with runners at first and second, it'll now be Anderson at the plate. Anderson so far, sac fly, a single, flat on a ground out. He's set for his 5th plate appearance of the game. Pitch. That's going to be a first pitch. And it's gloved by Bovee, who just flips it to Fryer at second for the out. And that'll do it. But the Cougars, they tack on a pair of insurance runs. They take an 11-7 lead into the top of the 9th. Cougars like to shut it down, go for the doubleheader sweep. See what they can do when we come back here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougar Nation, it's your favorite set of twins, Brandon and Jake. We're coming at you with a commercial.
We love the support you give us on and off the field. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank you button. This helps us continue to have the best live streams possible for some great Cougar baseball moments.
Thank you and enjoy the game. Roll Cougs!
And we got a pinch hitter here as IIT down to their final 3 outs. They need 4 runs, and it's going to start with Mason Kim, who we saw in game 1 of today's double header. Went 1 for 3 and immediately pops up the first pitch. Getting under it is Hickman and able to grab the ball for out number 1. And now it'll be Timmy Old at the plate. Old 1 for 4. A ground out, pair of strikeouts, and a single so far, as Bryce Jones still dealing for the Cougars on the mound. Can't get a save if he's able to finish off this inning. His second inning of work. First pitch to Old, he's going to take for ball 1. Swings through that one for strike 1. Next offering to Old away. So 2-1. The 2-1 fouled off, so it'll be 2-2. Two coming up from Bryce Jones here. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. So the 2-2 gets Timmy Old. He'll take a seat on the bench. And that means the final out of the day is Jack Fryer. Fryer has reached twice off an error and a walk, other than he's grounded out twice. And he'll take a ball there. He must reach safely to keep game alive for the Scarlet Hawks. They need 4 runs as he takes the next pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 coming up here from Bryce Jones, and that's going to be a high bouncer gloved by Munoz to throw to first in time for the out, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 go the Scarlet Hawks in the 9th, and the Cougars, they clinch the 11-7 victory here in Game 2. So the Cougars split with the Scarlet Hawks here on this Wednesday afternoon doubleheader. Scarlet Hawks took Game 1, but the Cougars come back, and they take Game 2 11-7. Scarlet Hawks scoring 7 runs off of 7 hits. They committed 2 errors, and they left a whopping 10 players on base. That's the big number to look out for if you're the Scarlet Hawks. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, scoring their 11 runs off of 16 hits, 1 error. They left 8 on base. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, the winning pitcher goes to Elliott Higgins. Bryce Jones coming in to make the save, while the losing pitcher will fall to Phil Trojanowski of the Scarlet Hawks. So let's look at some of the other notable stats from the day. For the Cougars, a big player of the day, Michael Kasich. 5 ribbies, having 2 RBIs each were Crater and Cajigas, and then Tyler Dorish and Caleb Anderson also adding a run batted in. Pitching-wise, as I mentioned, Higgins improves to 1-0 on the season. He went 2 innings deep, 2 hits given up, 2 walks issued across 36 total pitches, while Bryce Jones getting save number 1 on the year, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit given up, and a strikeout on top of it. As for the Scarlet Hawks, notable statistics from the visitors' side of the game. RBIs, 2 coming from Blake, while Paxson, Sproul, and Lindenmuth adding 1 each. As for the pitchers, Trojanowski picking up the loss. He falls to 2-2 on the season. 4.2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs given up, 3 of which were earned. And that'll do it for Game 2. Cougars, they pick up the 11-7 victory over the Scarlet Hawks. So we are going to send it to break, and when we come back, we'll have a post-game interview. But I want to say thanks to everybody making this production possible before we get it. Our producer was Amaya Martin, our guest scoreboard operator, Izzy Ortiz. And we are under the direction of Sydney Plaskas-Laher and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. Once again, Cougars pick up the 11-7 victory over the Scarlet Hawks here in game number 2. But don't go anywhere. Post-game interview with Bryce Jones coming up shortly. What's going on, Cougar fans? Peter Borkowski back here on the Cougar Sports Network, joined by a relief pitcher for the Cougars, Bryce Jones. Bryce, congrats on your guys' 11-7 win here against IIT in Game 2. Talk me through what the break looked like between the games. You guys dropped one. You know, we're kind of getting to that end of the season, that playoff push. So what happened in between games for you guys to recollect yourselves, whatever it may be, so you can come out here in Game 2 and get this big win over the Scarlet Hawks?
Yeah, we finished the first game a little flat, and then we were able to come out with a lot of energy in the first game or the second game, and kind of bring it to them.
And talking about yourself, you came in late in Game 2, 2 innings. This was a Scarlet Hawks offense which was playing really well in Game 2, and you shut them down. 1 hit allowed against those last 2 innings. You picked up the save. So talk about it from your perspective. I mean, you've been doing this all season long, one of the most consistent relievers on this roster. Just what kind of goes through your mind when you're entering that game, knowing, hey, they're playing me in, I need to get some shutdown innings here. Just what does that process look like for you to be so good so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, just trust my stuff and trust my teammates behind me to make plays.
And as for tomorrow, Bryce, you guys are playing North Central right here, the home finale for you guys at the Thunderdome. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of emotions going on about that. You get a non-conference break before going back to conference play on Saturday. Just what does the process need to kind of look like tonight? So going into tomorrow, it's a short turnaround after this doubleheader. Going into tomorrow, you can give the fans something happy to remember about in the home finale and hopefully pick up a non-con win against a good North Central team.
Yeah, just get some good sleep and come back and be ready to play tomorrow.
Definitely. Well, Bryce, thanks for joining me here. Congrats on the win against the Scarlet Hawks. In Game 2, Cougars take them down 11-7 for the split on the day. They're back in action against the North Central College Cardinals tomorrow at 3 p.m. The home finale here at Thunderdome. So tune in on the Cougar Sports Network to check that one out. But until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.